there is something that I would like to do, but I want to make sure that the people I'm with are ready for what it is I need to do. And what I need to do is
Okay, all right.
get a running start,
Right.
lean back,
Up into it.
Jump into it.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff. Nice.
Can't
Cool.
be pink anymore.
Can't be pink
Sorry.
anymore?
No, we jumped into it. I didn't mean to say that.
we're in it now. Now
It's over.
you've ruined
We're in
it.
it.
We got to jump into it again now. So everyone step back. I'm just kidding. We can't do it again.
Do we wait. So do we need like a more formal way to jump out of it? Or is like
No, I think you're either in or out.
I didn't
Okay.
think about that.
it's just
So-
like we like jump into it every time, but like
Yeah.
I never feel us out of it. You know what I mean? So where are we jumping?
Have we ever left?
I've been
Brother,
here the whole
what?
time.
Goddamn.
Johnny, roll an awareness check for me.
You need to wake up, Johnny.
No.
You need to wake up, Johnny.
I don't
It's
like
too
it.
real.
I don't like it.
Oh, Grace is in the focus zone.
Fuck.
Get focused.
I'm out of it.
Focus up.
I jumped out.
Focus.
Get your head in the game.
While Grace gets focused,
While
Mhm.
Grace rejumps.
I'm gonna
into
do
it.
a quick recap of last session. So last session, the Honey Pit, as
Mhm.
they're called, this
Mhm.
gaggle of weirdos.
It's not the honey pit.
It's
The
It's just
honey
honey
pit.
pit.
just honey
It
pit.
is just honey pit.
It's
Um,
just honey pit.
No.
I'm the GM, and I say what the name of stuff is.
So as the GM, you decide to go this place because you feel this way about it.
because you feel this way. You guys have to follow everything I say, or else you're kicked out of the friend group, and that's how it works.
It is
Anyway.
how it works.
That's how it works. Sorry, everybody. So you guys, so Honey Pit was playing a show at Patch's Pub, orbiting above Mars when they were approached by one Portia. And Portia had a job for the crew to go down and investigate a murder. So the crew, realizing there's pretty good money in doing private investigator stuff, headed down to Mars and reached Rancho Romano, where they met up with some locals. Eventually made their way to Roman's estate, where they spoke with Alfonso Roman, the land baron who kind of owns the area surrounding Rancho Romano. He had expressed concern over a recent murder of one of his workers named Paco, who was killed by one Hector, the previous air traffic controller, who stole a bus and presumably fled into the lands surrounding Rancho Romano. The group, deciding to get a little more information, decided to investigate the garage a bit. After speaking to the garage of Roman's estate, after speaking to him for a little bit, and then discovered a number of things, to include a knife that had been buried in the drywall in the garage. Additionally, FaZe was approached by Henrietta Roman, presumably Alfonso Roman's wife, who left her number and name on FaZe's shoulder. After that, the crew kind of prepared themselves to continue the investigation. I think that's where we're going to pick up. I think you guys were still there when we left off, right?
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So we pick up outside of Rancho Romano. Normally, Mars is a pretty chilly planet. However, the area surrounding Roman's estate is kind of heated by these big heat lamps that he uses to keep it a balmy, like 80, 75, 80 degrees. So the warm weather gear that they're wearing might be a little stifling at this point, but it's warm enough for a dip in the pool, some would say. In a very hurried retcon that the GM had to do because he didn't think of because he had two conflicting ideas.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like really chilly. Also, there's
They're
people
lounging
in
in their swimsuits.
there's bikinis and people by the pool. And how cold is it? It was literally like the second I said it, you guys were just like, and how cold is it again?
We give no quarter.
No, there is no mercy. What's the temperature like again, Chris?
Sorry,
Chris,
what is
the
it?
temperature?
What was that about?
This is how. Hey man, sometimes you guys get to see how the sausage. Sometimes you get to see the sausage before it's made.
I understand.
Is that the
Okay.
is that the saying?
That's
That's
probably
the
it.
saying,
Yeah.
right?
Gotta
It
be
is
it.
now.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys are currently outside of the garage. Um, kind of. You've hurriedly patched the drywall. Yeah, and that's it. What would you guys like to do? And that for people who are just joining in now, could you guys like before you like everyone speak in turn, just real quick say your character's name, um, and just kind of what they're doing. Just give a quick little like what they're doing outside the garage, just to introduce people.
Yeah.
Johnny.
FaZe
FaZe is up
is
top.
FaZe is regretting his life choices a little bit, but otherwise is kind of still focused on the job. He pulls his sleeve down so that Henrietta's tattooed number on him is not as visible anymore, and and comes outside looking for security cameras on the outside. He noticed that there were none inside when we were in there, and that seemed a little suspicious for someone who is maybe as high profile as Mr. Roman. And so he's going to try and see if there are any cameras on the exterior of the building that might that he might be able to take a look at some point.
Guay Nick, what are your characters doing?
Ajax is a little bit like stunned and rendered a little speechless. Partially like 30% of the way in like a little bit of like disgust, like ew, gross, but then also just in shock of like the Riz from from FaZe. And she is kind of like she's been had. She's kind of like standing there, kind of a little bit unsure of like what to do next. Just took a picture of this knife that we've patched back into the drywall.
We took a selfie.
Took a selfie with it.
Oh, that's right. You fucking idiots.
She goes to post it on future Facebook.
Don't
She goes to post it on Facebook and then deletes the post and doesn't post it.
Okay, thank God.
And
Could
she's
you imagine?
kind of just circling the garage, continuing to sort of look for clues, but kind of mostly just waiting for one of the other two to find something or ask to move on.
I think Colt is hunched down, like over in the corner, just like finishing up, replacing the drywall there. And as he finishes, he'll like stand up and walk outside and join the others and ask FaZe if you found anything.
I don't know. DM, have I?
Yeah. So, what kind of role do you want to give me to see if what you're able to ascertain from these cameras?
Can we go? Are they? Sorry. Are you saying that the cameras do in fact exist?
There are cameras outside. There's no cameras inside the garage. There are cameras
Right.
outside the garage. Yes.
Do they have a jack point on them?
Looking at them, no. This seems to be a hardened security
Closed
system.
Okay.
So it's a closed circuit. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
You could assume that there is somewhere in the house some kind of network that is controlling that.
And hold on. Wait a second.
Mhm.
1 second. Hold on. Wait for it. Hold on.
Mhm.
I need to talk to Ernie. Is what I need.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Ernie, head of security for Rancho Romano.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that FaZe kind of looks at that. He's like a little miffed that he can't just jack in. But doesn't want to deface property to do it illegally.
Mhm.
And he kind of like comes like back around to the front of the garage, and just to address the other two, and just kind of goes, well, there's a lot running through my head, but I'd like to talk to Ernie. I think this head of security gentleman that Mr. Roman mentioned. I think that these cameras don't show the inside of the garage, but they show the outside, so we can see who's come and gone, unless there's like a secret tunnel somewhere that
That'd be
someone
crazy.
uses or something. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
There's no way. There's no way there's any secret tunnels or.
Probably not. I mean, one second. And he like leans down and looks underneath the cars to see like if there's any like secret like hatches or anything like that or nothing.
No, it's all just concrete pad under there.
Like, yeah, all right. So, yeah, I think best deal is talking to the big man. But that's what I got. What do you two want to do?
That sounds good with me while we're here. I don't know about secret tunnels, but this garage does seem like a newer addition to the house.
Doesn't it?
It can't really be a coincidence that there's no cameras inside.
I don't think so. But we'll see.
If we can, yeah, like you said, if we can take a look at the cameras, I think that would be great to see who comes and goes. I would be interested to see if there are any interactions between Paco and Henrietta, the wife of like a land baron and the pool boy.
That's pretty typical, yeah.
Come on,
She was hitting me up pretty hard.
don't remind me.
That was man, twice in one day.
Twice.
It has been a day.
The hell do you
And
mean?
I-
Twice in one day.
What do we what twice? What do we mean twice?
Well, first Portia and
Oh,
now Little Miss.
Portia was
So-and-so.
authentic. This was garbage.
Oh my god.
We've been with you a month, man. You're holding out on us.
Are you gonna like teach a class? Can we take like Riz 101?
I don't
Professor
know if y'all know
Phase?
this, but my cool stat is a 4, and that's gonna be a it's gonna be a hard pass.
I don't know
This-
what you mean.
The southern drawl is it. That's all that droves people in.
We'll work on our southern accents.
Mm.
Me and Colt will practice.
We'll practice.
We're gonna need some work.
Yeah, let's go find Ernie.
Okay, yeah. Ernie is pretty easy to find. He lives in a rather one of the larger kind of domiciles in Murado, and he's not far from Roman's place. He's kind of like there's this long kind of driveway that goes up to Roman's estate, and then kind of like at the end of it, like the same cul-de-sac. There you see it's like a just like a one story like kind of a ranch or kind of home.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. You can see there's some like antennas kind of sticking up out of it. You see a large like truck kind of parked out front. Um,
Do I get the sense that this is where the security system is, or is this just his house?
you would assume based on your knowledge and like what you would know that the based on like how kind of networks work in cyberpunk and everything like that, you would know that the that surveillance system would be local, so that would be
Gotcha.
in Roman's home.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, you can see there are some lights on inside.
Ajax, you're the good talker. You want to take it?
Well, I'm doubting that now, but sure thing. Yeah, she'll go and kind of like knock on the door.
Yeah. Like a second passes, and you would just hear a 1 second. And then you hear kind of like these loud footsteps heading towards the door. And the door opens, and you see this guy. He's kind of like balding a little bit. He's got like thick, kind of like 5 o'clock shadow. He's got like this bright, like Hawaiian shirt on. That's like, but
Nice.
it's like down to his belly button, just like open. He's this large, very, very heavy set man. very thick arms. He's got like these like tactical pants on, like tucked into these like really like steel-toed combat boots. He has one of his arms is silver, like
Damn.
a silver cyber arm. And you can see he has this like big ass revolver on his hip. Um,
Nice.
and as he kind of
Oh
Perfectly
opens
yeah.
strapped.
as he opens the door, he says, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Hey, we were hired by Alfonso to kind of figure out
Oh,
this whole
the
situation.
mercenaries.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Ernie.
Nice to meet you, Ernie. This is Colt and Phase. I'm Ajax.
I've got to say, this is really kind of shaking our community. I'm glad that you're here to settle this for us. Is there anything I can do to help?
Definitely. Yeah. If you could just kind of give us your account of what happened that day, and then also like we would love to take a look at the cameras, if that would
Sure.
be all right.
I'm not sure about the cameras. I'd have to talk to Mr. Roman about that. But I can absolutely give you an eyewitness account. I actually wasn't home at the time. I was talking to some of my boys down in the down in town. But I got a call on my agent from Mr. Roman asking me to come back up here. Um, and on my way back in my truck, I saw the bus barreling through town. Um, and I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was just general panic. By the time I got up there, I just came upon the scene. Um, it was grisly to say the least. Um,
I hate to
I mean,
interrupt you, but was the bus coming from this estate or from the air traffic control?
it was coming from. It was coming from. It was traveling the opposite direction I was going. Um, it's hard to tell whether there's only a few roads. To be clear, there's only a few roads that kind of like go into the main town itself, and there's like only a few actual like drivable roads. And they kind of all coalesce into this one kind of large main street that goes down the middle of Morado. So if he was coming like westbound down the main Morado road, then the bus was heading eastbound, basically. So it was coming from the opposite, generally like the opposite direction. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to explain that better.
Yeah.
But it you wouldn't be able to tell specifically where,
Yeah.
like where it was coming from exactly.
That's fair.
By the time,
I
yeah.
realized it was kind of hectic that day, and so if you don't remember, don't feel too bad. But do you remember what time?
It was about 4:30 in the afternoon. People had just kind of most people had kind of finished their shifts up and were headed home or having a drink or something like that.
That's when you got the call.
Yeah.
Interesting that he chose to drive off into the sunset at rush hour when there's going to be the most traffic on the roads.
Well, there's not too many vehicles that travel around here. A couple of the locals have small vehicles they share with the people around them, but we don't have anything by way of rush hour. A lot of people use the buses and public transit.
Just meaning more that like everyone's going to be on the roads at that time, not necessarily that it would be like gridlocked
Right.
traffic.
Yeah.
Just an interesting strategy from our man.
Maybe he was finishing up his shift or something and was trying to not get caught beforehand.
Did you ever witness any sort of interactions between Hector and Paco? Anything that would indicate that they had some kind of conflict?
No, Hector spent a lot of time down at the shipyard. He usually came up here once in a while to get a drink at Hoagie's or talk to Roberto or something like that if he had a grievance. But as far as animosity, there's nothing I knew about.
All right. And then you said you head back to the estate. What time did you get there? Was it shortly after? About the same
Short
time?
drive, maybe for 5 minutes.
Right. What happened after that?
That's
Sorry.
us.
Sorry, that's
Okay.
us.
There's a Santa train that.
There's a
Santa train.
How cute. Okay.
That's really good. It just threw me off so much. I'm like, am I going crazy?
It's like, what the fuck?
Ernie lives next to the train track.
Sorry, it gets a little loud around here.
Yeah.
What was? I'm sorry. What was your question again? There was a Santa going by.
Yeah.
They
I was
did.
just
Merry
asking,
Christmas, by the way.
yeah, that Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What kind of just give us like a events and maybe around the times that you seem to remember that they happened, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So, uh, about 5 minutes after I got the call, I was at Mr. Roman's estate. And that's when I got to the garage. I found Paco. He was well, I hadn't seen somebody. I've been through some serious shit, you know. That was a lot. I've never seen somebody cut like that. But we kind of figured out very quickly that it was Hector. We found out about the bus, and we realized what had happened. So Mr. Roman didn't want to spread his forces too thin with the land barons kind of vying for power around here. So he kind of just had me shore up defenses, basically. And that's kind of where we left it off.
Gotcha.
As far as Paco's body, it was returned to his family with a brief ceremony and buried him.
Gotcha.
And it was sorry, the wounds on his body, they were cuts to the neck and torso, is that right?
Neck and torso. There were slices to his arms. He looked butchered is the closest word I could come to.
Were were many of the cuts I'm sorry if this is uncomfortable.
Oh no,
Listen,
I'm more concerned with. Oh, if you're all fine, then I'm fine.
yeah. All right. Were all of the cuts leaking, or were some of them not really leaking any blood?
Oh, it was bloody.
The whole thing?
There was a lot of blood everywhere.
You said there were cuts on the arms.
Mm.
Where on the arms? Can you show us?
His shoulders, like strips.
Strips, like cut off, like sliced off?
Like sliced. Yeah.
Like down the length of it? Or
Mhm.
Were there
across?
any on his forearms?
Like,
There were a few on his thighs. The whole scene was bloody. There was blood on the walls, the floor, everything.
Did you recover a murder weapon?
We did not. I presume that Hector took it.
Was anything missing from the Romano vault or armory?
Aside from the bus, no.
With your expertise, what kind of weapon do you think it would take to do that kind of thing in like a scuffle?
In a scuffle, if he was fighting back, those wounds. I mean, I don't know how many scraps you guys have been in, but as far as I'm aware, when you're attacking somebody with a knife, you're stabbing them. You're doing quick motions.
Yeah.
You don't really have time to do the precise kind of cuts that you would have in this instance.
Do you think
Hector
he
must
was
have
tortured.
perhaps. I've seen wounds like this before in people who've been tortured.
Not really a
Yeah.
crime of passion.
I don't know. I guess it depends how sadistic somebody is,
sure.
How much time they have.
how much time they have.
So,
but
would you think what a hunting knife if they had time, something like that? But if they didn't have time, what kind of weapon would you say?
Um, Something sharp, something maybe. Uh, Again, only thing I can think of is like those, those diagrams of like pigs
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
show where all the cuts are and everything. Maybe like a flaying knife, something like that. Something like a
The cleaver.
no, nothing as brutal as a cleaver. Like a skinning knife you'd use on a fishing boat or something like that.
Mm.
Oh, like a fillet knife.
Like a
Like
fillet
the
knife.
like the thin and bendy ones.
Right. Something sharp. Something sharp that you can get thin cuts out of.
Mm.
Did it look like he had the opportunity to fight back at all?
I mean, it was all very bloody, and we didn't have a lot
Right.
of time to go over the body. And I'm not a medical examiner,
Sure,
but
sure.
um, it looked like there were stab marks as well. I think maybe he was weakened, and then once he was weakened, it was conducted.
Yeah, they dressed him up.
Right.
All right.
This is the last question that I have. Did Hector do a lot of work here? Like, was he familiar with the estate?
No, he was. We tend to look after the air traffic controllers. It's a difficult job, so he typically didn't have too many responsibilities outside working the tower. Um, So when he came up, it was mostly just to he spent a lot of time down there, working the shipyard. But um, once you finish up and you come back up here, grab a drink or something like that, he would spend a lot of nights down there in the shipyard as well.
Do you have any friends or people he's close to? Do you know?
Yeah, there were people in town. Roberto, but everyone's kind of friends with Roberto.
Sure.
Um, and uh, yeah, a couple of buddies out here.
You said
Nothing.
yeah, you said he hung out at Hoagie's.
Yeah, no, but a lot of people hang out. A lot of the people here hang out always.
Sure.
But he kind of just part of the community. He was a quiet kid.
Hmm. What
I
about
changed my
Paco?
mind. I have one last question.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who first?
You go
Go
first.
for it, Ajax.
Okay. I'm gonna look very directly into his eyes. Um, do you think that he did it?
Do I think Hector did it? Well, Mr. Roman says that he did it.
All right.
So
Simple
yeah,
enough. Sorry,
I don't
Faith,
see.
go
I
ahead.
don't see why Mr. Roman have any reason to lie.
My question was just about Paco.
Hmm.
What do you know about the boy? It's a pool boy, right?
Yeah, he's a young kid. Maybe like 20. Um, he was. I don't know. He was a good kid. Kept to himself a lot of the time.
Hmm.
A hard worker. I know that.
Good
Kind of threw
deal.
himself at it.
Girlfriend.
Not that I know of.
Hmm. Hard worker. What do you mean by that?
I mean, just like anybody here,
Mhm.
kind of the last resort. So you do what you can. Um, I mean, he mostly worked on the pool, cleaning and making sure everything was, up to snuff. But he'd also step in and help people out in town, repairing buses and things like that. He worked with Theo a lot,
Gotcha.
mostly just a tool wrangler, just helping her to fix the buses and things like that.
Man.
Can we get your contact?
Sure. Yep. And he gives you this information.
And
That's
then
Ernie West is his full name.
Ernie West. Would you care to radio up to Alfonso and ask if we can take a look at those cameras?
Sure. I can give him a call. You mind giving me a sec?
Yeah.
Sure. Actually, we'll just make our way up there.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah. All right. If you have any more questions, feel free to give me a call.
Thanks,
Will
man.
do.
All right. And he shuts the door, kind of nods, and then you kind of see him in the window as he walks by on his phone.
As we're walking away and back towards the main estate, so Hector didn't work here. He probably wouldn't have had much reason to go into the garage and know that there were no cameras there unless he had someone on the inside, and that's if he did it.
Seems weird to drive the bus up here, except for some mechanical work,
Do we
which
know if the
Paco
bus
could
was
do.
even here at all?
Not necessarily.
Not for
That's why
sure.
those cameras would be helpful.
Yeah.
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 I want to just point out two things that I was thinking about. Maybe we shouldn't talk to anybody about investigating the murder. That's not really what we're hired to do.
Do you think it would get us in trouble?
I don't know if it'd get us in trouble, but if it wasn't Hector and it was somebody covering it up, like
But isn't that what we were hired to do?
I think we were just hired to bring in Hector,
Hmm.
kind of dead or alive, not find out if he was innocent.
We should maybe be careful about who we question more deeply
That's fair.
about whether or not Hector did it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't. I think. What do y'all think? I think asking about the body and the state of it and that kind of stuff. I think that was fair game. I think
Yeah.
asking when stuff happened and how and all that. I think that's all right. But
Yeah.
things like, do you think he did it? Might not be.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
risky.
Yeah.
We can feel it out, see if there's any animosity,
Gotcha.
if they might be willing to have a conversation like that.
Well, if these cameras don't pan out, I want to go talk to Theo.
For sure. And maybe we talk to the guy in the weapon store too. Bill?
Yep.
Bill.
Well, yeah.
And maybe Abuelita.
I think we should do Theo and Roberto just while we're here.
They're
Oh,
in
Theo
town, I
here?
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all in town.
Yeah. Okay, then yes, I agree.
Gotcha. All right.
It doesn't seem like the kind of thing that just doesn't pan out to me.
Doesn't feel right.
I don't think Hector did it. What do we
I think-
do? If
I think we continue to act like we're going to go apprehend Hector, and then we go and we
Kind of figure it out.
maybe don't just grab him.
we'll make like jazz, we'll improvise,
Mhm.
just like on stage.
Do you need a drink to calm your nerves, my friend? Just looking at Colt with like a little teasing grin.
Colt, I think Colt doesn't notice it first. Like for maybe the first time you've ever seen him, he looks deep in thought.
Oh,
In response to that, Ajax like hip bumps him out of it.
Huh?
oh, I was teasing you about our show the other night. Don't worry about it.
Well, one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you guys get closer to Roman's estate, you guys see that there's somebody in normal clothes, kind of walking up to you.
Hmm?
Hi, I was told to show you to Mr. Roman's server room.
Oh, yeah. That's
Great.
perfect.
Thanks.
Sure. Yeah, right this
what-
way.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your name, friend?
My name is Eli.
Eli. Nice to meet you, my friend. What do you do here?
Oh, I just kind of take care of the cleaning and stuff like that. Mr. Roman is very, very gracious.
We've
I've
heard that a
heard
few
that.
times. Yeah.
You know Paco?
I did know Paco, yes. It's a tragedy.
Definitely is.
Sorry
Pretty
about
close.
Can I try to like perception him and see if there's anything that he like wants to tell us? If he looks like he's on the edge of like
Sure.
it.
Yeah, go right ahead. Perception, human perception, something like that.
human perception.
With a 16.
Mm.
15.
16. Um, I would say that you can see that there is something guarded in him. He is. Uh, you get the impression that this is somebody who doesn't want to um, disrupt their situation too much.
Sure.
Um, as far as whether or not he's itching to say more, you can tell there might be more there, but that guarded kind of like how he's speaking to you and stuff like that is like very like measured and like he doesn't know who's listening.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I was gonna just try to strike up a conversation. I wasn't sure if you were gearing up to say something.
Uh, go for it.
Yeah, like as we're walking, um, do you like to go to Hoagie's like everyone else here?
Yeah, I mean it's the place. It's kind of where we all meet up with Roberto and talk about what we need, and he kind of advocates for us sometimes.
That's an important job.
Yeah, I really respect Roberto. He's not really like I don't know. He's not like our boss or anything like that, but he's um he's here to help.
In a different way than the big man, right?
Yeah, I mean he signs the paychecks.
Sure. We might be going there later. Would we see you there?
Tonight probably. Yeah, I mean, stop by for a drink or something after work.
Sure. I mean, we all got to eat, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and we all got to unwind.
Seriously.
Exactly.
Super crazy, stressful situation. Imagine the whole this whole place has been tense, yeah.
Yeah, it's been he like stops for a second and he looks around. We've lost a couple people.
Mm.
Raids, neighboring land barons, um, Alvarez, as Red Riders. Um, they hit us, and sometimes they'll take somebody.
Mm.
And then the nomads, and then it just seems like we're we gave up a life on Earth for this, and it's
Mm.
not much different.
I know how you feel.
It's really tough, man.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So
Well,
it's right down here.
yeah.
And he kind of guides you guys a little further.
Well, enough.
Uh,
If nothing else, friend, I hope whatever you've got going on works
as
out.
you turn a corner, you see Alfonso,
Ah,
and he is walking towards you guys. He kind of claps his hands together. Oh, um,
howdy,
I spoke
howdy.
to, I spoke to Ernie. You're headed down to the server room, yeah?
Yes, sir. That's
Yeah.
the goal.
Yep.
Okay, great. Good. Have you found anything out yet? You haven't been gone for too long.
Just poking around, little bits and pieces.
Mm,
Checked out the garage. I mean, spick and span. Well done cleaning up. I've heard that it was a real mess.
it was a real mess. I have great people here. Isn't that right?
Yeah,
And he gestures towards Eli. I guess, thank you, sir.
absolutely. Yeah. So just trucking along, trying to make a timeline, make sure everything goes the way we want
Mm,
it to. You know how it
that's
goes.
great. I had heard that the Anguillas were on the move.
Are they?
So it I don't know. It's you guys are free to conduct the investigation however you like. But
Sure.
I just worry about Hector slipping through fingers, things like that.
Absolutely.
We're like
That's good.
bloodhounds,
That's good
man.
thinking.
Once
Right.
we get on the trail, we're not gonna lose it.
Okay, good. Good. All right. Well, good luck with that. He gestures towards Eli again. Thank you. for helping them. And right, and
Thanks, sir.
he
Have a good
walks
one.
back. There's like this awkward moment where like the hallway's like a little too thin, and he's kind of a burly guy, so he kind of has to like bump past you guys a little bit to get by. Oh, sorry, excuse me.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry.
And he squeezes past. And you guys kind of just see Eli is just like pale at this point.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, it's right down. It's right down here.
Be nice to unwind later.
Yeah. And there's a few more turns before you guys get to a stairway that leads down into the basement.
As we
And
continue walking, have
yeah,
we learned? I feel like I am just now hearing the word the name Alvarez or Red Riders. Am I off
no,
base on
yeah,
that?
Yeah,
you're
that's
you're
the
just
first
hearing that.
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then Face would be like, so what is this? Who's this Alvarez fella? I've heard his name like once or twice.
He's in the he's one of the land barons in the plot next to ours. Um, he occasionally will rustle cattle from Mr. Roman and tries to disrupt, tries to take control of Mr. Roman's property, and it's just a constant. It's just the war, you know.
Yeah.
All the land barons kind of just fighting each other. Just
Same corpo bullshit back on Earth.
right, except now it's cold and dusty.
Yeah. All right then.
Um,
Good deal.
Yeah, so right down here, and he kind of leads you down, and you guys see this. First thing you see as you enter the basement is this wall that just stocked with weapons. You see various assault rifles from all different like periods of time. You can see these like antique like muskets and things like that. Like
Wow.
there's a whole section of it that's all just like different kinds of revolvers, like cowboy pistols and stuff like that.
Wow.
And you just see like this section of like knives that kind of like goes up to the ceiling, all different kinds of like hunting blades and things like that. And then as you guys continue on, sorry, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to make a perception check or something?
Yeah.
I guess you don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
need
yeah,
to.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm,
We
The
all have the same
moment knives
question,
show
right?
up, we're all just like.
I knew saying it. I knew saying it. There was gonna be.
Oh,
God
ooh,
damn.
Ajax coming in.
Ajax with a 20. So
Chicka bang.
with your 20 Ajax, looking at the knives from bottom to top, you note that all like the holders are filled. However, with your 20, what you notice is the faintest outline of dust that appears to be staggered just a little bit. Like maybe these racks have been reorganized.
Interesting. Does it look like it would be like you can kind of pull them out and plop them back in, or is it like labor
For the rack,
intensive?
they're like these metal kind of like holders that come out of the walls.
Okay.
And the wall, I'm imagining the wall has like a bunch of like those little like holes in it that it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
modular kind of, so it's easy to
Mhm.
kind of like switch them out as you need to. But the one thing you note is that like the outline of like where like of like where things have been like put for a long time, like this kind of like dust layer. Because everything on Mars is kind of covered in this like this fine red dust. And you note that there are 7 knives that run from bottom to top that are currently there, and then you note 8 outlines of dust.
As we're walking, just silently, I'm gonna kind of tug Colt's sleeve, and then tug FaZe's sleeve, and just one at a time, silently, like pointedly look at it with my eyes and like alert them to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think with that, you guys would absolutely notice it as well.
Yeah.
Side eye it. Keep walking.
Just real quick with that. Are it like of the 7 knives remaining, Like what kind of variance is there? Is it all like hunting knife or like are any of them
It's
more like those like skinning carving knives that Ernie was
that
talking about?
No, you don't see anything like that. These are like
Okay.
combat knives, like these are hunting like Bowie knives, stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Machetes. There's a kukri knife.
Hmm.
Kukri?
Um, kukri. Yeah.
Okay. Heard, chef.
Dope. Cool.
But yeah, within this room to the far side, you see this large. Bless you.
Sneeze very fast.
These kind of like steel walls that are set up, and you watch as Eli enters a code into it, and the steel door
And
opens.
is there any chance that we can clock that code?
Make a perception check. I think, yeah, I think it's just gonna be Colt,
Oh, damn it. Okay, fair.
just
fair,
because
fair, fair.
just because he has. Oh well, yeah, you got it, buddy.
Let's go.
Bullshit.
Yeah, for sure, you got that.
With your like robot eye.
Wowzers,
Yeah,
that's.
my one robot eye.
Did you roll? You rolled.
Uh,
Okay,
I have a
yeah.
yeah. I have a plus 10, so I guess I rolled like a 10 and a 5.
Mhm.
Yep. It's pretty fucking good.
That's pretty. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's
You
pretty
guys.
good.
Oh, Johnny asked me earlier. I don't know if you guys overheard, but luck. You guys can use luck to bolster any roll that you've made.
Mhm.
But
And
you have
it's
to say it before you make the roll.
yes.
Okay.
You say it before you make the roll. You can put up to. You can't be lower than 1 luck, so you can put up to 1. If that makes sense. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you have 7
So,
luck,
like-
you can put 6 luck into something.
Okay.
However, if I do call for a luck check later on, you are rolling with a 1 as opposed to.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that comes back every session.
I think it's every session, but based on like how we're doing this, I think we're gonna do daily, just because it's cleaner.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Just based on how this whole thing is working. But anyway, so you clock the numbers. I don't have the numbers written down, but it's let's say 6, 7, 8, 9. Very, very cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And inside you see this kind of like server room with a computer kind of attached to it that has like some degree of like playback. And you can see like a closed circuit surveillance system kind of all around the house, including the pool. You can see there's a lot of like interior rooms that are monitored. Like the kitchen, like this is like a hacienda type house, so there's like a courtyard. You can see that is like very thoroughly covered at all angles. You can see this surveillance system is incredibly thorough. Yeah, so what would you guys like to do?
Can we just also do we know how many days ago, like what day the murder was?
I believe
If not, I'll ask Eli before he like heads away.
Yeah, I said it. I just wanted to make sure that I don't get get my stuff mixed up. I don't think I wrote. I'm gonna say like it was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Is when this all happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to get the date so we can look it up on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a jack point? Or is it just like an old school?
Yeah, there's like a node that you can jack into for sure.
Yeah, I would love to jack in and do a like like a full scan of I would like to like scan through for like the day
Sure.
2 weeks ago and then basically run through the whole thing.
Yeah. You're not like really like net running, so it's not gonna be like too crazy. But just give me what I'm saying is it's not going to be possible to find, but give me a library search check
Dang.
to see if
Okay.
you can get any more extra information out of this, because you're gonna find the basic stuff, and then this is to
Sure.
see if you get
Yeah.
extras.
Roll
Can he use
high.
the +2 from having an internal agent?
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The what? The +2 what?
Yeah.
You
Plus
get a
two.
plus
Oh,
2 bonus for library search.
yeah.
Okay.
For your agent.
So that'll be 14 instead.
14. Yeah. So yeah. It's good you rolled that, because looking through, you realize that there is actually like a pretty sizable gap.
Mm.
It looks like somebody went through this with a fucking cleaver. There's like there's thorough recordings of everything like in the weeks prior to the
Mhm.
murder. But you can see there's gaps there too. Um, it's like from May to August, and then it skips to like November, and then here it's not, that gap is not nearly as wide. Like within the past 24 hours is all that's left between now and when the murder occurred.
Okay. So there's
So
There's
like
like
the last 2 weeks are missing.
yes.
Is Eli still with us?
He's standing outside this steel room that you guys are in. He doesn't seem comfortable going inside.
Okay.
he will like uh on Jack and then just kind of like have this smirk of just like I fucking knew it. Like kind of look and he goes, "All right, well, that was truly enlightening and I think I have everything I need. All stored away.
Yeah, we saw the whole thing.
We can keep moving."
Sounds great.
Word.
Hey.
Hey, Eli.
Yeah.
You got the password to this place? Like, and you're a cleaner. Does everybody have access to it?
No, it's just me. I'm kind of in charge of maintaining the servers down here. Not
Oh,
maintaining,
cool.
but cleaning them and getting the dust out, basically.
Yeah.
How does
Gotcha.
the room look? Does the room look like really clean?
It is spick and span in here.
You do a great
Gorgeous.
job, man.
Thank you. Thanks, I guess.
Is this the only thing down here? Like, Mr. Roman passed us on our way down.
Mhm.
Is it like one hallway, kind of like series of things just down
Um,
here?
there were like, you could see the way like the hacienda's built, it kind of like wraps around like this.
Sure.
You know that you were walking through like servants' halls, basically, which are much smaller than the normal hallways.
Mhm.
And there are a couple doors that lead to other rooms and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's possibly was coming from here.
Okay.
But no, there are other doors. It's not one. There wasn't just one thing back here.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. We're after the like servants' quarters, does it turn into that like gun storage area and then this server room
No,
or
you went down a set of stairs.
That's right. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
You guys are like in the basement right now.
Okay, good deal. Thanks.
Okay. That's
So
the
was it when Johnny was scrubbing through, was it like all of the security footage is gone for that time period, or just from the cameras around the garage?
all security footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I try something really dumb?
Sure.
Can I just check and see that the trash bin was emptied?
In here?
The
No, like
digital
the
trash
recycle bin. Yeah.
Like the
Is there
trash
Oh.
can,
kind of
like on the
like-
computer.
Yeah, can you do
The recycling
Actually,
bin.
Can I
that's
see
a
if
really
it's-
good idea.
If it's recoverable?
Make me a luck check.
Yes!
Ah.
Luck! I don't just click luck.
Oh my
I have
god.
the
Can I-
worst luck out of all of us, I think.
Just roll a d20 plus your skill.
D10.
D10, sorry.
D10 plus
Okay,
4.
I have like a 16 in electronics and security tech. Can I help?
This is to determine whether or not
Oh, okay. I got you.
this is to determine whether or not that even happened. It's either
Okay,
this right now. This is determined yes
10 plus 4.
14.
or roll your 10. Roll the D10 again.
Oh yeah.
Is
Because
you
you crit.
Yeah.
It's loading.
17.
17. With a
Stop.
17. Um,
There's no
you
way.
guys, there's a lot you don't know about Alfonso Roman. Um, However, based on this flight of fancy that Ajax has, this moment of like, let's just check. The one thing you do know is he is not the cybersecurity whiz, because when you open it up, you see a myriad of recently deleted files.
Oh, Phase, you're gonna want to look at these.
Oh.
Can we get a shard? Can we get that on a shard?
I can hold on. And he'll jack back in and try and get it all onto. He like pops a shard out of
Yep,
his noggin and
absolutely.
I film us
throws
doing
it on there.
this.
For posterity, for posterity.
I
Yeah.
vlog it.
Yeah, I will try and
I'm just in the
rip
standing next to
all of
FaZe.
that
Yeah,
onto the
With the
shard to
bunny ears behind
begin
his head.
recovery.
for sure. Yeah. It's I mean, we're in whatever time it is. It happens very quickly.
Mhm.
You have all those files in the shard. You guys are not viewing them right now, to be clear.
Uh,
I think we should take them and
I
bounce.
yeah, I think I would like to take them and move. Yeah. And
Question
I'll
2. Are you taking copies?
oh, as in, am I moving them from the system where they are visible to the shard
Mm-hmm.
and then they're now gone from the system?
Yeah. Or are you
Um,
copying them?
that's a really good question. I think
What do you guys think?
very, very so wait. I have
He thinks he deleted them anyway. Maybe. Or maybe
that's
he's
We want them calm, I think.
I would I think that FaZe reasoning through that he thinks he deleted them and they are gone and that no one would look for them and that kind of stuff. FaZe will copy them.
Okay.
And then if there's any trace of that being left, then I would like to erase that.
Okay. No, it is. So I'm just asking. Yeah, I was just asking if you're going to empty out this recycling bin, basically,
Yeah.
or just like make make copies of the files themselves.
Just gonna
So
make copies.
yeah, totally fair. I will say in like the metadata for the files,
Mm-hmm.
which again, we're talking about somebody who potentially deleted evidence and left it in the recycling bin.
Mm-hmm.
The metadata could still be like the metadata could still read that you guys took that file, if that makes
That
sense.
is what I would like to remove.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would require a check.
Okay.
That's some hacker
Electronic
stuff.
security tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
go for it, brother.
So a 22.
Oh, yeah, no, you're ghosting it, dude. You're ghosting it.
Let's
no need
go.
to fear. No need to fear
It's
at all.
bonk.
He copies it
funky.
over, goes in, alters all the metadata, alters like that a shard was put in, the data was moved. All he wants to leave remaining is that he combed through, saw the dead space, and was like, "All right, cool," and unplugged.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Absolutely. You even adjust like the login time, like how long you were logged into the
Fuck
system.
yeah.
You
Let's
think to change
go.
that. You think to change like all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. You with your 22, you definitely fucking
Thank you.
get your
That's
shit
really
squared away.
kind of you. Yeah, he
Um,
pops out the shard, pops it back in his noggin. He's like, "All right, cool."
What do you guys say to some takeout and some videos on the Vantage ground?
that
Let's do
sounds
it.
pretty great. Do we want to talk to Theo first? Or do we want to like do like more recon, or do we want to just look at these videos?
Maybe food first,
Um,
and then we can.
Are we having this conversation in the presence of Eli?
yeah, Eli's there.
So
He's kind of just standing outside for a
Sorry,
second.
when I said watch videos, I was trying to be like casual about like
Like movies. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like movies.
just like
Yeah,
take a little
sure.
break.
I think FaZe was just gonna be like, "Hey Eli,
Yeah.
does Roberto show up at Hoagie's pretty much every night with everyone?"
Yeah, he's usually there every night.
Has Theo been there recently? I don't imagine she's doing
N
too well.
not recently, no. She's in her apartment above Bill's.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you. I imagine we'll see you later tonight. I think we're gonna take a minute and spin on this.
Okay, yeah, great.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, it is.
And Faze
Yeah,
will start walking.
cool. Yeah, it's like 2 in the afternoon right now.
Hey, just right before we do leave, Eli, did you know Hector?
I had never met him personally. I don't. I'm not in the shipyard too often. The landing area. I've seen him at Hoagie's a couple times. He keeps to himself usually. He speaks up when he feels like, when we're having a meeting and he feels there's something that needs to be said. Um, that was it.
Good deal.
Okay, yeah. Right this way. And he kind of guides you guys back up. Um, Yeah, and as you guys are kind of like passing through inside the hacienda, you see in kind of like a sleek dress, seated at the table eating seems like a plate of vegetables or something as you go by. You see Henrietta, and Faith, she kind of looks at you pointedly and gives you like one of those little.
He just very nonchalant winks and then just kind of keeps going.
Mm.
God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
As soon as we're out of vision, Ajax like elbows him like crazy, as if in like a good natured like teasing sort of manner.
Anyway, question for you, big boss.
Yo.
I have a Chiron. I have for my cyber eye. I have some ability to display the shit. Can I be running through footage while we're walking?
Sure, like processing it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Doing
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
recovery and stuff like that, just as we're going.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'll do like a big reveal at the ship and everything. But yeah, you're kind of like
cool.
You're kind of just processing it right now.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So are you guys headed back to the Vantage Ground right now?
I think
First tacos.
Okay.
And then
tacos.
Vantage Ground.
Yeah.
Sure.
I want to try those carne asada ones. They look good too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try your ones.
Gorgeous. The fake pineapple
Pastor.
actually has some really good flavoring.
I just had an Al Pastor burrito today.
Oh hell yeah,
Dude, that sounds awesome.
This is really good. God, I fucking love it. Anyway, yeah, you guys grab some tacos. You get a bunch of tacos to go, and kind of bring everything back to the ship. One thing I will note is the drive again is like it's like a 45-minute drive to the landing.
We eat all the tacos before we even get on the fucking bus.
It's a rather long trek, all the way out there. And it's just and you see this bus driver is just haggard. He's just been going nonstop since there's only one bus now.
Can we ask him questions?
Yeah, for sure.
one thing that I'd like to do is get like tacos for the bus driver.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay?
Good move.
Yeah, absolutely. If you make a persuasion check or anything going forward, give yourself a +2.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Just like, hey man, you look like you could use these.
God, yeah, I could fucking use them. Yeah, Jesus.
He just destroys like 5 in a row.
Yeah, he's like still driving. He's fucking whipping this thing as he's just like shoveling tacos into his mouth.
what's the deal with the stolen bus, man? Aren't
I don't
these
know.
things like
It's a pain
always?
in my fucking ass, though.
I mean, you only had 2 to begin with. Aren't these always going?
They're always going. It's just,
How could somebody steal a fucking bus out from under somebody else?
Did it break down that day or something?
Oh man, the guy picked up Hector, and then fucking Hector had a gun and fucking pulled him.
Damn.
Hector had a gun on. What happened?
He fucking. All right. So it was Liam. Liam was driving. Fucking Hector comes in, and he's like, "Get off the bus!" And he points the gun at everybody. He's, "Get off the fucking bus!" And everybody gets off the bus, and then he takes the bus and he drove off.
Did you see this?
No, Liam told me about it.
All right.
Talking hoagies. Although he doesn't have a fucking job now, so it's just me.
That's rough, man. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you two aren't like swapping? This is
Can't
you've
trade
just been
shifts?
doing it yourself?
Well, no, and the shifts are longer.
I get. Yeah, right. Okay, all right. I was just fucking losing my mind for a second. I'm thinking you're killing yourself. Just you. Jesus
I
Christ.
fucking might.
I mean,
This
you are
sucks.
dying, but like
So,
less
so
than
this
I thought initially.
so this guy just like popped a gun, stole the bus, and drove out straight into the desert.
Well, he took the road up, as far as I know. Yeah, he didn't drive straight into. I mean, yeah, he took the road up and left. Yeah,
Right.
fucking long drive. I don't know, man.
Good for you.
And is there a separate road that goes out into the desert, or is it the road that is it just the one road that goes past Rancho Romano, or
So
would there be like a different route?
there's a road that leads to like where the cattle are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that road kind of like leads out in the desert a little bit. But like if you're on the main street, just hang a right and keep going straight. Eventually, you're hitting the desert, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But would that be the same direction going to Rancho Romano?
Um. So I'm imagining it like
Can you draw a
imagining it,
little diagram on
yeah, yeah.
If possible.
So I'm imagining it like this is Morado.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The shipyard is this way,
Okay.
and then Rancho Romano is this way.
Okay.
The main street goes through here like this and kind of meets up with these two.
Mm-hmm.
And then this road leads out to where the cattle are.
And
Gotcha.
This is all like residential.
just also kind of whereabouts is Hoagie's?
Hoagie's is
Is
like
that where Ernie was when he
Main
was
Street.
got the call?
No, he was at the Purple House. The
Oh,
Purple House is like further out to like here.
okay.
Hoagie's is like right in the middle of town. The Purple House is where all the Chicos Morados go. It's like kind of like where
Yeah,
they hang out and everything like that. Kind of like the security guys. Um, it's like a brothel out in the edge of
sure.
town.
A purple.
Q Q Q.
Okay. Bless you.
Bless
Bless.
you. Gesundheiten.
Taten.
All right. Cool. We head back to the ship then?
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
So so like 40 minutes pass, and you guys eventually make it back to the airfield. And you're on board the ship. Yeah. It's a little early, but this is a pretty big reveal. And I don't want it to be undercut by the break.
So let's take the break.
Just
Nick's got a
I
question.
do want to just say real quick that explains. So Hector just that guy just told us Hector took the bus and got out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when Ernie passed him coming from the Purple House, he wasn't coming from Rancho Romano. He was just coming straight from the port.
Unless he killed Paco ahead of time, which why would he? Yeah, why would he
He
not
did
have
that, went
transportation?
all the way across town to the spaceport
Yeah.
to steal the bus.
Leaving a dead body there for 45 minutes, with which people with a lot more speedy methods of travel could use to hunt him.
He would just gank the bus in town.
Yeah.
Do the buses exclusively run like to the port and then or the shipyard and then to town and then back?
They kind of like triangles. They go from the port. They drop off like on the road that leads up to Romano Estate. And then they kind of like have a couple of stops in town, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
Liam was hijacked at the port.
Liam was hijacked at the spaceport. Yes.
Did we I don't imagine we got a time for that from our friendly bus driver.
Yeah,
We
he's
probably could from Liam.
not very precise. No.
That's okay.
Very fair.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Yeah. Okay.
all right.
Yeah. So, okay. Any other questions before we break? Okay. Um, with that, let's take a quick fiver. Use the bathroom. There is to be no fuckery in chat.
No fuckery allowed.
And
Not allowed.
yeah, be back in 5.
Okay. Cool.
Love you guys.
Be back in
Pleasure.
5.
Love you, bye. Is there something that we should like? Is there like an action that we could take? Like if we were a
Yes.
dragoon in a Final Fantasy video game,
Yeah.
Oh, that's like my favorite subclass because their thing.
can you tell us about their thing?
Yeah. So what they
Yeah.
do, right?
No!
Their thing, they utilize lances and they can they do
Tell
this
me about
thing
how
where
their thing.
their ability is called jump, and they jump real high in the air and they come back down and kill stuff. And that's it. And we're here. Welcome everybody
We're back in
to
it.
adventure.
Thanks.
Anyway,
Thanks.
Very nice.
anyway,
Any.
you guys are back on the vantage ground or the van, as some would say. Are you guys in like the atrium or like what part of the yeah? So you guys are up, kind of like lounging around as I if I may like set the scene a little bit.
Yeah.
You're kind of like setting up like a projector, getting it ready to like getting a little cozy, getting ready. This is like you guys are watching like your mysteries and stuff like that. And yeah, eventually the large kind of screen flickers on, and you are at the start of the week of deleted footage, the 2 weeks of deleted footage that was in the server. And you guys are able to like kind of wash through it, and a lot of it is kind of like menial. However, you do catch about a week before the murder, like when the murder had occurred, when the murder had happened.
When it done did it.
You do see
When the murder occurred.
You do see a large, kind of like lanky younger man, kind of like cleaning out the pool. You see him, he's kind of got that like long net, and he's like got his shirt off underneath the heat lamps. And you see lounging in a beach chair, you see Henrietta. And there's no audio. However, you can see the two are like talking to each other. And then you guys watch as Henrietta stands and walks over towards this pool boy and kisses him. It's a rather large kiss. You can see that the pool boy's a little uncomfortable with it, but then like kind of like gives in. As they are kissing, you guys watch, and this is about a week and a half before the murder. As they are kissing, you guys watch as another figure enters the frame, and crossing across to the pool, you see Alfonso. And he walks over and he kind of like leans nonchalantly on like the small fence that surrounds the pool. And you guys watch as Henrietta turns and waves to Alfonso, and he waves back. And Paco the pool boy just
the pool boy
just looks terrified. You can see the fear, like the color kind of drain from his face. And you just see like this nonchalant sort of just like wave, like, no, it's fine. And yeah, that was notable. That was one of the notable things you guys find. You see there's a couple of times where there's a little bit of an interaction at the pool between Henrietta and the pool boy. They kind of like, like ships in the night, kind of passing each other every now and then. And eventually, you guys see the footage of the garage itself. So it's like much closer to the actual garage. This is like the camera angle that you guys have is like out to, it's like out across the yard, like, and you can see the pool like kind of in the distance. It's like not center frame basically. Um, and then up closer to the garage, you can see an image of the pool boy. The one thing you note is there is a huge like hickey on its neck, like massive. And you can see Henrietta. She's again in her bathing suit, kind of like playing, like just joking with him. It seems like kind of like, and this is the sorry, this is the day of the murder.
Yeah, got
clear.
it. Sure.
You can see her.
What
just, like,
time is this?
it is about 3:30.
Okay.
I'll say it is 3:24. And you see her kind of like tickling his chest a little bit, like just playful, flirty stuff. And you watch as from like just around the corner, like at the bottom of the frame, you see Alfonso reach out and grab this boy by his hair and drag him into the garage.
Right. Cool. Did is there any does Alfonso have anything on him?
Not that you could see. You could only see like his upper part of his back, like reach out from the bottom of the frame and pull him in.
Gotcha. Okay.
No flirt, no like waving to Henrietta.
No, nothing like that. Henrietta kind of just actually that's a good point. As he's like pulled in, you watch as Henrietta turns and this just like smirk forms on her face.
And she just like bounces.
She stands there for a little bit.
Oh.
Eventually after like a couple of hours, you guys watch as Ernie comes out of the garage with a like a large like barrel, like a blue like plastic 55-gallon barrel.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. The rest is all pretty much
Is Hector ever on the cameras in this time?
in the time that you were watching. No, you did not see a bus and you did not see Hector.
I guess we don't technically know what Hector looks like. We got his description, right?
Yes, I think so.
They probably
Alfonso.
did. They show us like a picture or anything?
Yeah. I think you guys got a picture of him. You would know what he looks like.
Okay.
What do we do? Well, what now?
Damn, it was Alfonso.
Why would he hide the knife from himself? Why would he not just put it back on the rack?
I wonder if No, you know what? I don't know.
Yeah, who is he trying to hide it from? He's the guy.
He could just put it in his bedroom. None of us would even like see it.
Chris, is this I think that we all kind of have the feeling that Alfonso is the law here. Is that fair?
To a certain extent, yeah.
Is there any kind of law enforcement?
So no. So Mars historically, the Space Corps kind of like pulled out of protecting Mars. They're more so just kind of like corralling the people on Mars and like pretty much just watching to see who comes on and off planet. At this point, like Mars has completely devolved into like full on like warfare between the land barons. Yeah. as far as law, it's going to vary from like territory to territory, um, and like how it's enforced and everything like that. As far as you know, there is no like formal police force here. The closest thing is the Chicos Morados, who are like just basically uh, gang members.
Why would he hide it?
I was thinking that like Henrietta was solely responsible and that she hid it. But Alfonso grabbed him.
Yeah, and Henrietta just kind of watched, and so kind of seems like she's like into it. Like this might be something that she gets off on. That wildness. She certainly was thinking that I'm some kind of rebellious kind of spirit, you know, getting her number tattooed on my arm and stuff. It seemed to make her get all riled up, so.
But it's obviously it's not the infidelity he has a problem with.
I guess not.
Unless
Maybe he's cool with kissing, but not more. I don't know.
Unless he's like wildly unstable. But
It could be.
I kind of agree with FaZe. I wonder if this is like something that they do. Not I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's like a sex thing.
Could we see Alfonso's face? Did he seem like enraged, or was it like a?
No, you could only from the angle that you guys had, you could only see like the upper part of his shoulders and the back of his head, and you just reckon his arm kind of like.
Can I do a quick scan through of the rest of the footage that I
Sure.
have that's been deleted and look for similar instances?
Sure. Nothing. The period of time that you have is just this
I
period
gotcha.
of time. The rest
Okay.
has been removed.
Right.
What if we like? What about like if we scrub back to like earlier that day? Like, what's the attitude in the house if we look at other camera angles? Like, does like Alfonso like seem aggravated, or does it kind of seem like business as usual? Everybody's just kind of casual, or does that make sense?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So like looking at other camera angles and stuff like that throughout the house, you kind of see it looks like a pretty typical day. It seems like there's a lot of I mean, it's the same as usual. There's just hordes of cleaning people, kind of like making sure the place is spick and span, just trying to fight off the red dust, basically. You see Alfonso kind of like at his table in the center of the hacienda, kind of writing stuff down on a paper, like working on it up with that, like doing some paperwork, basically. And this is about this is like an hour and a half before the actual event. This is like the last time you get like a clear shot of Hector in the house. And he's just doing this paperwork. And you see that Henrietta enters the courtyard, and they have something of a conversation. And they kiss. And she steps out. And that's pretty much when her interaction with Paco out front begins. Watching the other camera angles, you watch as Hector finishes up the paperwork, kind of closes everything up. Alfonso, sorry. No, it's Hector, actually. I'm just kidding.
He pulls off the Scooby-Doo mask.
He pulls off his Scooby-Doo mask. He was Hector the whole time. You see he's working on he's finishes up his paperwork, closes everything up, and kind of stands up and like stretches for a second before he walks like out of frame and follows like you catch him in like corners of a bunch of these cameras, but never like a good shot of him before he's just like you lose track of him completely.
Are we able to see that hallway with the knives?
No, the basement is not in the
In instances like where he like passes by or like interacts with other employees, does he seem to have the same sort of like respectful demeanor that we've seen him have, or does he seem like more like hateful or
If he acknowledges them at all,
at all? Yeah.
it's usually just like a curt, like a nod, or like
Mhm.
it doesn't seem to be like freaking out on anybody or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
And so right before he went to go like murk Pool Boy,
Mhm.
he was just like finished paperwork, seemed
Yep.
calm.
Yeah. Seemed very calm. He had it was like a very tender like husband and wife kiss with Henrietta.
We must be missing something. I wonder if Paco's family owed something to Alfonso, if Paco himself owed something that he wasn't able to pay back on. There has to be like a piece of the puzzle that we're missing, man.
Probably, but they also just might be murderers.
Yeah.
They might
Just
be
wealthy
murderers.
people who have nothing going on in their life who just get off on killing people.
But at that point, why
Why
hire
hide it?
us?
Yeah, why go through all this?
If they gain a reputation for killing their help, they're not going to get help anymore.
But if people are disappearing all the time on their property, if other like nomad clans or the Alvarez, the Red Raiders, whoever the fuck, if people are disappeared constantly, why hire us for this one? Either Paco, I'm telling you, man, either Paco knew something or he owed them something,
Everybody here owes something though.
but something big.
I could
Something
see
more.
that.
Maybe Henrietta
And maybe
offered
Hector
him
knew.
some sort of deal, or
Yeah.
I feel like I'm wearing a tinfoil hat or something now, but
No, I think you're onto something. I think that we need to talk to Theo. I think we need to talk to Roberto. I actually think we need to talk to Hector.
Yeah. Agreed. Do we think there's any chance of like Paco being like a plant?
Like a traitor?
Yeah. I mean, like a spy or anything.
From
Or maybe even Henrietta's a spy and like uses these guys to like cover her tracks.
man,
I just really wanted to be her. I think.
oh, me too.
She's pretty gross.
Either way, we don't leave Faze alone with Henrietta.
Please, dear God, because I will have to entertain.
Not on our
and
watch,
I-
my friend.
And I will vomit the moment that I get away from her. So I don't. Rather not do that.
Roberto, Theo, Hector's place.
Yeah.
Might be good to go to Hector's
Maybe.
place.
Really quick, let me get a reconnaissance device from my room. I'm going to walk to my room and get a reconnaissance device.
Okay.
What?
I come back with it in my jacket.
Okay.
I want to unveil
Okay.
it at the right moment.
Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Sure. You're wearing a wire. Fucking.
Okay, yeah. So are you guys headed? You guys are headed straight to Hoagie's? I'd say at this point it's gonna be pretty late in the day, probably like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So the perfect time to make it to Hoagie's.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I could use a drink.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, another long ass bus ride back into town. Another 40 minutes. You see this again, this bus
Idea.
driver. Oh,
Really quick idea. What if we bring our stuff and do some improv music at Hoagie's?
I'd be down.
Get some people interested to listen to us,
Do y'all know how to
talk to us.
play
maybe?
any other genre of music?
Also, then we have to carry all our stuff around with us all day and bring it back on the bus.
the keyboardist. Of course.
I have like the least amount of stuff.
No, you have the most amount of stuff. You've got amps. You've got the keyboard itself.
Oh yeah, true.
Aside from maybe the drummer.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's not realistic.
My drums are not a full like
Oh,
studio
you
drum
got like a
kit. I've
you
got
got like
electro drums.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that realistic? Is that dumb? Should we not? We would have to carry it all.
It's a great idea, but maybe like we'll do that after we.
If the mood is right, if there is instruments there,
Yeah.
if the
Yeah,
vibe
yeah,
is
yeah.
there,
Mhm.
it could
If
be
the vibe's there, we can do it, but
yeah.
we'll see.
As you guys are stepping off, like in the hangar, you hear a clatter, and then you just hear, "Sure thing, boss."
Um,
Hey, Cal, what? What happened?
Yep. How can I help?
What just happened in the hangar?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
uh, Cal, um, detail, past three commands.
Sure thing, boss.
Wait, shit.
Cal, open the garbage chute.
There you go. That's what it was. Yep.
um, there's like a moment that passes, and then you hear processing. Unlocked mag clamps. Turned on garbage disposal. Coolant levels acceptable. You got any other questions, boss?
I'm gonna pull my heavy
Start
pistol.
heading towards the
Yeah.
hangar.
Yeah, I pull
Yeah.
my gun.
You guys walk in, and you see spilled all over the floor are phases various like nuts and bolts and screws. It looks like one of the shelving units that had been resting on just like collapsed in on itself, and spilled everywhere. There is like a magnetic sort of like bond that attaches it. However, just for the sake of time, this is I just wanted to do a bit about Cal fucking shit up.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
that's
all I
good.
was. Yeah,
That's
you just realized that there's stuff all over the
Oh.
floor, and Cal's just being a damn fool.
Okay, maybe you can give it another crack. Some of this shit has got to. Some of this shit has got to calm down.
Thanks.
You're the Cal whisperer at this point.
Let's I'll give it a try when we're done with this. I don't want to touch the poor guy when he's We'll get there. All right.
Come on, he's sweet. He's sweet.
He's a sweetie. I don't want to change the vocal thing actually. I think I kind of like it, but
I kind of like the errors. I think it's sweet.
I would like less.
Maybe like 25, bring it down 25%.
Yeah, if there's an error slider, I'll just go ahead and bring that down.
What is that? That's like The Last Guardian. There's literally like the if you give too many orders to like the companion in The Last Guardian, he'll like ignore you.
Yep.
Be like, fuck you, I'm not doing that. Because they
Yeah.
programmed him like a cat. So he
That's
like
so
That is
funny.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's head back to town and go to Hoagie's.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So you guys make your way back to Morado. And you pull up to Hoagie's, which is it's like a country, like Western looking bar. You see just in big like neon letters, Hoagie's. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like we were walking into a bar, like, ah, like
That's really
laughter
good.
That was
and-
pretty
Yeah,
good.
the
That was-
timing. I'll make sure to thank everybody once we're done. I
Yeah.
had them waiting out there this whole time.
Like extras. Credits.
Extras. You guys walk in, and it's you can tell there is some degree of like levity here, but it's measured. It's a lot of these people have been working hard all day, so it's not like rip roaring or anything like that. A lot of people are just kind of hanging out in the wings. And as you guys step in, a lot of people do cast glances towards you. You see these are hardworking people. A lot of them are covered in the red dust of Mars and stuff like that. And one thing you guys note is a gentleman stands probably close to like 7 feet tall.
Jesus.
Just these burly shoulders, these massive arms. You see he's wearing like a tank top, and he's got like dust all over him. And he turns and you see he's got like kind of a close cut haircut and like this big bushy mustache.
Nice.
And he kind of turns and looks at you guys, and he's the first, like everyone's kind of casting glances at you, and he's the first to kind of like nod towards you guys.
FaZe kind of does like a like I think I know who
Roberto.
you are, and then
Yeah.
kind of just like walks in, heads to the bar.
Okay. He's like leaning back against the bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
Head up next to him for sure.
Yeah.
I'll post up.
Yeah. He kind of like he's continuing to kind of like look at you guys. And he just says, so are you guys here for what I think you're here for?
Uh, give me a second. Can I get a whiskey sour, please?
Yeah, you see this haggard, like older bartender kind of like walk out. Says, sure thing.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Makes up your drink.
Two
Two
of
of
them.
those? Yeah, you got it.
Hate to be that person. I get a
Three of
vodka
them?
cran.
Vodka crane. All right, yeah, let me get, I only got
Maybe,
I only got synth vodka. Is that gonna work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe we're not here for exactly what you think.
No, I think I have an idea of why you are here. Um, I am trying to ascertain exactly what your relationship is to Mr. Roman. Are you friends? You know
Great.
him?
Great friends.
Great friends.
Just the closest of friends. Known him for years.
Big fans.
Yeah.
Mm.
FaZe is not being subtle. He's like
Yeah.
very obviously like, and he takes the whiskey sour and just like,
You see the beer that he has, he kind of just like, I understand. You're working for him though.
yes, sir.
Okay. Uh,
Well, I do want to be clear. We work for ourselves.
Mm.
We choose who we work with.
Freelance.
So the question I have is, where do your loyalties lie? Because there's a number of things that kind of go on around here, and none of them are exactly kosher all the time. I have my grievances with Mr. Roman. I have my debts, but I realize that there are a lot of people here that I'm kind of going Russian. Sorry. I kind of realized that there are people here who need protection,
And you
and I
give
need to know who they need protection from. So my question is, we don't have money. We don't have much of anything here. We have a life. It's hard work.
You're good people. I think that you'll find that our loyalties lie to what's right, not necessarily what's convenient.
And we might be working a little bit harder than Alfonso has anticipated.
Mm.
Can I
I-
gauge his reaction to that?
You can see he's coming to this with his own sort of like his own bag. He's got his own motives here, basically. So he's not really being super perceptive to what it took him a minute to realize you guys were being sarcastic earlier. So like he's trying to gauge you guys out, so you realize that he's not like picking up too many hints, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I see.
Um yeah.
Can we just cut to the chase on this?
Hey, do what you like, baby.
Look at Ajax.
He killed the bastard.
We it wasn't Hector.
You
We
said
don't
this
think
was
he ought to answer for it.
Our role now is kind of harm reduction to the people around here, I think.
Methods to be determined.
I imagine Mr. Roman offered you a substantial amount of money to bring Hector to justice.
That he did.
Even in the face of that, you are willing to forsake that?
He wasn't too specific. He just wanted substantial proof.
We were thinking about improvising. It's kind of what we do. If there's a way to get the money and not turn over an innocent man to be killed, then that's the route we'll take. But there will be other jobs. There won't be another Hector. So
If I may, I get the sense that this is a pretty dangerous frontier. And there are many, many people who would love all of the power that Mr. Roman has accumulated for themselves. What do you think you'd do with that power, my friend?
I am not in the business of trying to be a land baron. I think that there is it's dangerous and it comes with a lot of responsibilities. We've only just met, and I'm not really sure if I can necessarily step up to the task. I don't have the resources that Mr. Roman has, but I know the people, and I know the people here are good.
could I poke a little bit and ask what resources this man has besides people? It seems like he has a flock, an army of indentured servants that are scared of him. Does he have a loyal security? Weapons?
Scared of it. Most people are scared of it. Yes, it's a lot of people made a deal with Mr. Roman to get them off of Earth and to get them here. And they realized that when they got here, they were locked in a cycle of debt that they couldn't escape. That is the cycle a lot of us are in. I have kind of, oh jeez,
That was trouble. He just
Trouble, dude.
so loud.
I have managed to put myself in a position where I can be helpful to the people here and be their voice, their advocate, and also continue to be useful to Mr. Roman. As far as resources go, he has money. He has the Chicos Morados, who control the weapons. He has the upper hand in terms of violence.
Why would a man like Alfonso Roman need to hide a dirty deed?
I think Mr. Roman knows that weapons will only protect him for so long, and they only really improve his chances of protection. I have my suspicions about Alfonso, but I don't know if I can get enough of us. And he kind of gestures towards the bar to buy in to take that risk. And I'm not willing to risk my people on a hunch.
The Chicos Morados certainly wouldn't turn on the man, would they?
I don't think so. I think I know Ernie wouldn't, but the rest of them I don't think are. They are not as locked into this debt cycle as we all are.
Are they loyal to Alfonso or to Coin?
I'm sure there could be enough coin to change their minds if you have it, if that's what you're suggesting.
If one were to suddenly come into a large sum of money, like perhaps from the Roman estate, if something unfortunate were to happen.
Oh yeah.
I understand. Perhaps.
I know that you've
I know a few.
said
I know a few of them, the Chicos Morados. I could I could see that path. But again, I don't even know you. I've only just met all of you. Are you? You're talking about something that I have been thinking about for a long time.
that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look
Well,
around. Are there any like instruments lying around?
um, there is. I imagine this bar is kind of like a dance floor. I don't want to. I don't want to give. I don't want to say no, but this bar's kind of like a dance floor. There's like a bit of a raised stage on one side. And you can see there's still some people. This conversation is happening like in the middle of the room, basically, but it's like kind of loud in here, so like you guys are still able
Yeah.
to keep it pretty much between you guys. Um, and there appears to be I think there's an old piano covered in red dust leaning against one of the walls.
Do you have any like buckets? You know, like
I
plastic buckets?
Yeah, I could probably he kind of turns and goes, uh get a couple buckets for my friends here. And the bartender just goes, yeah, one sec. And he heads back and he comes out with like two blue like 5 gallon buckets.
Phase, you could play these.
Son of a bitch. And like out of his like back pocket, like he'll pull a pair of drumsticks that he just always has forever. Be like, all right.
Colt, how about that old piano?
You know
Don't
any
you don't want to say
you know
no.
any like
You want to
Colt,
say I can see it.
there's this ragtime old song that I learned when I was first learning. Do you know it?
I don't know, man. Maybe. Do it.
He
It
knows it.
goes like this. And he'll take the drums and or the the things and just like thump, 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 ba-da-ba-da, like and just start going and
Yeah.
he'll with just the percussion like start singing like a drinking song, like a bar drinking song.
All right, I'll see if I can do something.
Ajax is gonna kind of nudge Roberto. Be like, just don't watch this. Feel it, man. And she's
What are we?
and she's gonna wander after Colt and turn on her audio box and do like man, if we're doing like a little drinking song, she's gonna like with cyberware manipulate her voice to sound like what's like a drinky song instrument?
Singing.
Like
Singing.
Just okay, yeah.
like
I
a
guess she's gonna just say the words.
banjo, like a banjo or like a guitar or like a.
She's just gonna sing the words really loud.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get some performance checks.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes. All right.
Oh, please
Peace.
be good.
Let's see.
I get a +2
12 is
because
good.
I'm singing.
Yeah.
What? What?
Did you roll it? You rolled a 2.
What are we? We were just having a. Yeah, dude. I'm rolling like shit every time I do
roll
this.
so bad.
Here's the thing that I'm thinking. We're trying to like inspire them and like whip them up. That's where I'm
Okay.
going with this.
Why are we trying to incite a rebellion? We're
Because we're improvising.
We're not inciting anything. We're promoting unity, man.
we're just trying to find out where the fuck Hector is.
We know where he is. So
We don't know where Hector is.
Or whatever.
Within 18. Okay. So, you guys are playing like an old-timey like ragtimey drinking song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Something people from Earth would know.
I will say with your guys's roles, I will say that you guys managed to it's not that anything was like particularly dour here, but it was I mean these people were like tired from a long day of work and stuff like that. But with your guys' performance kind of stepping up, you do kind of get this place shaking a little bit. You get people to like a lot of people kind of recognize it and kind of begin like some begin humming along, others like kind of begin turning towards you guys, and you guys manage to kind of like uplift the fatigue of the room just a little bit and people kind of like step up. Some people like begin dancing on the dance floor and stuff, and a lot of people go to the bar and get a couple more drinks. And Roberto is kind of like leaning against the bar. He seems a little confused as he's kind of watching this happen, but nonetheless he's smiling as you guys kind of like whip this place up and get it bumping a little bit. You guys see Hoagie is a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of orders that are kind of coming in very quickly, but yeah, you guys managed to like uplift everybody a little bit from a hard day's work.
After that,
Okay.
Ajax is gonna kind of beeline right back to Roberto
Okay.
and like playfully like punch him in the chest a little bit. And
Okay.
just because she's excited.
Yeah.
Man, this is what it's about, right? It's not perfect. The shit isn't perfect, but it's life, man. It's a little shitty, but like it's ours, you know? And you're gonna like if you do something, all that matters is that you're like decisive about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think so.
I know that you don't want to hear it, and you just met me, and this is weird. But listen, people look up to you, and that's a responsibility. And this whole shit fuck on Mars is gonna be one big cycle that just goes in a circle and never stops until someone says enough and kicks it on its side. Every single fucking person that we've spoken to since landing on this planet has spoken your name as someone who's important and someone that we should talk to. It's time to step up.
I mean, rocky start, but I'm inspired. Fuck.
All I'm saying is think about it.
you see this kind of like this confusion that he had. It kind of is like kind of clicking into place for him, and he kind of like, and that's just in character. I knew exactly where you were going with this
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
start.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Totally, absolutely. You see, it all kind of clicks. It all kind of clicks for him. It's, I understand. There are a lot of people on Mars, and there aren't a lot of land barons.
So what's the real fucking resource, man?
All right, all right. I don't know your name.
Ajax. That's Phase and that's Colt.
Nice to meet all of you.
We're
I
Honey
am
Pit.
We
okay.
are Honey Pit.
Oh, you're a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I kind of skipped over that part and got
I
right into the
mean,
demonstration.
I
I'm
just
sorry.
thought you were mercenary musicians. I gonna be honest, I didn't know where you were going with that. That
Hey
was
man, I didn't either, but
you
it's
kind of just
improv.
you kind of just went for it. Yeah. No, wow. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, who doesn't have the thoughts? But I guess you're
uh,
right. I mean, it's not gonna happen unless you you do it, right?
FaZe kind of like comes back from all of the bustling and like actually like get like talking to people and starting to like socialize, and makes his way back to Roberto and like downs the rest of his whiskey, and then kind of goes, "We have video evidence, my man."
The whole thing,
The whole thing
Well,
of
except
what
the
of
part that
right.
would qualify as a stuff film. Not that part.
Uh,
but video evidence.
Do you
we
do you want to take a look?
I believe at this point I believe you. I hear what you're saying. At the end of the day, they have many weapons and we do not. However, I do know of a group who may be not as well armed, but armed nonetheless. It is going to be a little bit of a hike for the three of you. I have responsibilities here, but um,
We can get out there.
Yeah.
You talking
Oh
about the
shit. Are you sending
Anguillas?
us?
the
Yeah.
Anguillas. If you can get the Anguillas to side with us, then maybe we'd have a chance. I know a lot of them are people who used to work for Roman, and have since escaped. Those are the ones I know
Is that
in the Nomad clan.
is that where you sent the is that where our boy went?
As far as I'm aware, Hector went out there. What I know about them is that the Anguillas don't accept you unless you bring a gift, and I think Hector may have stolen the bus to give it to them as a gift.
So
Why
Not a
was he
bad one.
running?
Again, it's the debt. Hector didn't have a family here, and he was working his entire life in a traffic. I was Hector and I have had a lot of conversations in the past. Um, he's not a very loud man. He doesn't share his views openly, but I would speak with him in confidence from time to time. I speak with a lot of the people here. Um, but um, Hector wasn't happy with what he was going through here, and he came up with a plan, I suppose. I didn't know the plan, but he didn't hurt anybody, if what you're saying is true. Um, Not that I believed he did.
Did he have any beef with Paco, or is it just a bad coincidence?
If what you're saying is true, it sounds like this is cover for Paco.
That's that's kind of what I thought. Is that maybe the big man
Hector
learned.
Hector seemed like a good excuse.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like this just happened to take place in like the same window of time.
Right.
Hmm.
there's just a piece of it that I don't understand. If it was a coincidence that Hector escaped with the bus just after or just before the murder of Paco, and Alfonso killed him, why hire us? Why hire us at all? You just would have murdered him and then be done with it.
For us, if we believe that Hector killed one of our own,
It
and
breaks you down.
he hires mercenaries to go out and deal with this person who hurt one of us, then it inspires trust in Mr. Roman, and it inspires goodwill.
Well, bad news bears about that, buddy.
I don't know the exact movements of the Aguilas camp, but you are likely to find if Hector managed to make it, which again is its own trial. I don't know the exact movements of the Anguillas camp, but
Sure.
As far as I'm aware, you all have a ship.
That
Yeah.
we do.
We're gonna need a gift though.
Well, you're not joining.
Oh, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
In
Oh,
order
I
to
see.
gain their allegiance, it might.
Yeah.
It might help, sure,
Yeah,
but
sure.
It for membership,
Would
they ask specifically for tribute.
would a nice bottle of whiskey be enough, or sweeten the pot at all?
I'm sure it doesn't hurt.
Hey, Hoagie.
Yeah, you see, he's like in between talking to 4 or 5 people, and he kind of like saddles up. What do you need?
Do you have a bottle of something nicer?
So, I can get you a glass or something if that's what you're looking for.
Oh, I'm asking for the bottle, my friend.
Oh, well, I'm gonna.
Just as a gift for some friends of mine.
Um, how nice are we talking?
How somewhere in the neighborhood, let's say 150 eddies.
Okay. You see, he reaches under the bar, and you see he's like fiddling around with stuff. There's like a couple bottles that come out, and you see there's people like kind of like piling up to like hurry, like try to get more drinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And eventually he kind of comes back up, and there's like a dusty old bottle of like oak aged whiskey. That he sits down. I think that there'll fetch you about 150 eddies.
He Phase in this time had like grabbed a cred chip, like
Yeah.
put it in, downloaded it, and put it on there, and slaps it down, slides it across, and takes the bottle. And goes, "Thank you much, my friend."
Not a problem. Happy to help. Do you want another drink, or you and your friends? It's on the house at this point.
I'll take another one.
My favorite flavor is free, so yes.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. He just pours out 3 glasses of tequila. You don't
Very
get
nice.
You don't get the choice in the free drink.
Fine.
It is like cheap house swill.
Yeah.
So fine.
Tastes great.
I have marked that off of my cash to be protected.
Yeah,
To
that
be
is
transparent, yeah.
That specifically is going to be
Yes.
cash. Yeah.
I do have another
yeah.
question about Bill.
Okay. For Roberto.
For Roberto.
Yeah.
Would Roberto be open to arming a militia?
The
Do you know
primary
who's he loyal to?
Bill is one of us. He's with us. He usually supplies the cattle hands. Let me see. Yeah. He usually supplies the cattle hands. He doesn't have a lot in stock. But I mean, it doesn't hurt to check.
He would be maybe potentially open to like donating what he has to the cause or renting it out to the cause.
Renting is more maybe with like maybe he can get his hands on some of Roman's personal collection would probably be helpful in that regard.
Yeah, that is a crazy collection, by the way.
Oh, you were down there.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I have spent very little time at Roman's estate. The only time I look there is when I have some kind of grievance that the people have brought to me.
Good deal. Yeah,
Um,
it's
I
impressive.
to be clear, you are asking us for you're offering us a lot. What do you expect in return?
To seize the opportunity when we open the window for you. To be ready. To mobilize and be decisive.
Yeah. I would if it comes to a point where a great swath of eddies falls into the lap of some very important people that we've made friends with, it'd be nice to be compensated the amount that we were initially promised. But anything less than that is actually kind of okay. Uh, Mostly because shit ain't right, my friend.
At this point, I'm
Well,
kind of operating off spite. There's very little that I love more than money, but there are a lot of things that I hate more than I love money. And one of those is murderous assholes.
Some money would be good though. I mean, we got to keep the ship going,
We
so
do have
Yeah.
to, yeah.
red ain't cheap.
red is not cheap. Um, red ain't cheap. That's good. All right. Well, yeah. So I will see if I can get in contact with a person I know in the Anguillas. Um, I can check back in with you tomorrow if that works.
That should
That's
work fine.
perfect.
Or
Sure.
if you're feeling particularly bold, if you want to head out tonight, that would work too. We're gonna lay low as much as we can. I guess is your plan to come back with the Anguillas?
Hadn't gotten that far yet,
All
but
right. Well,
potentially. What I know is Roman said that he didn't want a war with the Anguillas, so I think that's exactly what we should bring him. And
hmm.
bringing them back here would be prudent.
Mr. Roman, I think, is not in the lofty position that he wants to portray. Um, I think his grasp on this land is tenuous, and I think that he is hemorrhaging money for his wife and his needs, um, and I think you will find that this may not be as preposterous an idea as I may have initially thought.
Well, I think that we can change up what is, but I'm also a little concerned about what might be. And if this Alvarez fellow I've been hearing about is keen on coming here, we want to set you up to be able to fight that back too.
Well, if the Anguillas can stay for a little bit and protect us while any kind of transfer of power happens, then perhaps we could be put into a better position. Um,
Yeah.
I would hate to become just another land baron. Um,
So don't make it the people's.
Hopefully, that concern will be enough to keep me on the straight and narrow. Um, Otherwise, good luck. Reach out to me if you form more of a plan.
Will do.
Can I get your number for this?
Yes. He kind of like takes a bar napkin and writes down his agent number and slides it over to you.
I don't have a fancy tattoo needle or anything. This works. Thank you.
Oh, don't start. Jesus Christ. You want to see something disgusting and horrible, my friend?
Sure.
And he rolls up his sleeve.
Hang on to it. She might be single.
Fuck. That's that's horrifying.
It
Um,
really is. It disgusts me that it's in my flesh. But the
I
things we
mean,
do for
you
work,
can do
right?
stuff. There's stuff you can do. Abuelita might be able to help you out with that.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was gonna have to go all the way back to Earth for something. I don't want to go back there.
No, no, this is a. I mean, it's it's cyberpunk. It's pretty rudimentary to get a
Yeah, yeah,
tattoo
yeah,
at
yeah.
this point.
Yeah.
What
Um,
was the spaceport situation like?
what do you mean?
Like, like how big, how busy, and what kind of like ships were really in there? Were there
Oh,
like fighters and things like that?
you did note a couple of single occupant vessels. Like a small, not a like just like two or three of them.
Okay.
And there was a rather large freighter, probably not as big as the Vantage Ground, but a rather large freighter. That was the ship that Portia was on when she came down. Was that
Mm.
freighter?
Okay.
But that's about it. It is not particularly busy now. You can tell that Alfonso's focus is pretty much on the land. Like he's not spending too much time going up to space or anything like that.
Sure.
But the option is there for him if he needs it. And there's like a whole fueling platform and everything like that available to him here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. Inciting revolution. Check. Did it.
Yeah, viva la revolucion, right?
Yeah, brother. Are we trying to go see the Anguillus tonight, or are we?
We have
'Cause
not
I'm down.
decided that.
It might as
I,
well.
I'd be down. I mean, do we still want to go talk to Theo, or are we just kind of like dead set on, like, all right, cool. We kind of
I as GM, just based on how like the story is going, Theo is pretty much Theo's contribution is pretty much just what the body looks like. Like
Sure.
Gotcha.
that was pretty much what was going to be.
I
What she had to
figured.
say. I have no problem doing that scene with you guys, but I think you guys it'll be redundant information for you at this
Sure,
point.
yeah.
Okay.
I think we
Um,
can move to Anguillus
Yeah.
territory.
Uh,
Yeah.
we do only have 20 minutes left in the session, so I'll probably like end it as you guys are approaching the Anguillas, or maybe like
Sure.
with your initial conversation with them.
Mhm.
Sure.
But for now, is there anything you guys would like to do in town, or do you guys want to just wait to hear back from Roberto?
Do we want to check with Abuelita
Get that tattoo
and just
off
see
of
what
you.
kind of and see what other kind of like things she might have?
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
good.
I think she would make a very efficient second in command for a friend of ours if she had the time.
And she just seems like a good connection to have.
Mm-hmm.
She was cool.
Yeah, cool. So you guys head over to the general store. It's a pretty big store. Very like Western vibes. This whole town, pretty much. This whole like main thoroughfare. And this kind of this big general store. It's got like two floors. And as you kind of walk in, you see Abuelita. She's like behind the behind the counter, and you can see she's like kind of like knitting. She has like one of those circle, I forget what they're called, but like the circles.
Cross
And she's
stitch.
like
Yeah.
cross stitch. Yeah, she's doing cross stitch. Thank you.
Yeah.
And she's working on it, and she walks in. She goes, she sees you, Ajax, and she goes, "Oh, you finally made it."
Hello, hello. Welcome. Or why am I welcoming you? I've had a couple drinks.
That's fine. Welcome. Is there anything I can get for all of you?
Uh, maybe.
Hmm.
What kind of stuff do you have here?
Oh, well, I have some frozen foods. I do have a fresh guava back there.
Oh.
That's a little bit more premium if you're
Yeah.
willing
How
to
much
pay
is
it. I'm
how
I'm
much would
Abu
that run?
I'm Abuelita, by the way. I've met your friend Ajax here. I haven't met you two,
It is very
Colt.
lovely to meet you, ma'am. My name is FaZe.
FaZe and Colt.
My manners kind of disintegrate between the floorboards by drink two, so I apologize. It
Fair
is
enough.
very good to see you again.
Well, welcome. Sure. Uh, what did you say you needed?
Well, Can you tell me about that guava real quick? How much is that?
Sure, yeah. This came in today actually. And she goes back and she comes back out. And she opens up this like small, it's like a little wooden box. And she opens the top of it. I'm realizing right now I don't know what a guava looks like. Um,
It looks like a guava.
yeah,
It's
it's
Wait,
guava
wait.
shaped.
guava.
Before you look it up, tell us what you think it looks like.
I'm
Improvise.
thinking it's kind of like a gourd. I don't know why I think it's kind of like a gourd.
Uh-huh.
But is it pink? Would it be pink
It's pink on
in
the
the middle?
inside.
Pink on the inside and like kind of like kiwi. It's like got a little bit of fur on the outside. It's like
It,
fuzzy.
A furry squash.
A furry squash. I'm
that's
looking it up.
funny. Yeah, go ahead and look it up.
No, it looks like a lime, huh? Don't it? No, it just looks like a lime.
It's a very tiny watermelon.
Very tiny watermelon, yeah. All right, cool.
He kind of goes, "Oh, oh dear."
She has this like this box that I had before is now probably about this big. And she opens it up, and she pulls it out. And if you guys have ever been in like an Asian market or something like that where they have like the individually wrapped fruit,
Yeah.
it has like that styrofoam wrap around it, and she pulls it out, and there's still like mist on it. It's like the it seems like the box that it was in was like had some kind of cooling device. She kind of pulls it out. Would you like to hold it?
May I?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh, oh my God.
How much is that thing?
It'll be 100 eddies.
Oh, how much more to make it into a smoothie?
I probably have a blender back here somewhere. 110 eddies.
Oh, that's yeah, we're gonna have to do that. All right.
Do you want anything? You just want the guava, or do you want anything else in it?
Whatever. Abuelita,
Mhm.
I may be a fool.
I have the rest is all
I,
synth. This is the only real fruit I have.
I
The rest is
understand.
all
That's
synth.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I want to be clear. At this particular moment,
Hmm.
I would trust you with the life of myself and whatever future children I deign to have.
It's very strange.
You can choose whatever you like to put into that smoothie, and I will
Okay.
drink it like it is God's gift to me.
Okay.
Right.
It's really
Drink.
intense, man.
That's
Sorry, I'm a little drunk.
you you watch as she steps away a little bit and then keeps like looking back as she goes. She kind of like cuts up the guava, and you see she's moving like expertly as she does this. Like
He's just he's not looking at Abuelita. He's looking at the guava, watching it get like cared
yeah,
and
she
cut. He's like,
dices it. There's nothing. It's like all in there. You see her reach under, and there's like a synth fruit cocktail mix, basically. It's like a smoothie mix. It's like strawberry banana that she opens up and pours in there. She pours some ice in and hits the blender, and then while the blender's going, she turns back. Is there anything else I can get for all of you? She says it louder because of the blender.
Could I get one water bottle?
Sure.
I take the water bottle and I dump it on face.
Ah. Great. Good. We don't worry. We have plenty of that. Don't have to ration or anything in this big desert.
It's fine.
We can just dump water all over the floor. Just kidding.
You look like you needed a cold shower.
I wasn't hitting on the poor lady. I just trust
Not
her.
yet.
I'm not a savage man.
3 for 3.
She pours the smoothie in like this tall glass and kind of hands it to you. She's like, "You're gonna have to drink it here because I need the glass back."
It's fine.
While he's doing that, we are sort of here for a serious reason.
Okay.
I told you that we're investigating the murder of Paco.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we? Is there anyone else here? You know.
Oh, I don't. No, no one else is here.
Alfonso did it.
Hmm.
I don't get the sense that you're very surprised.
I have a bad feeling about him.
So do
You
we.
know, when somebody is so willing to hand out credit to people, they're not really looking for the money back. They're looking for something else.
Something more valuable.
A soul, some would say.
Yeah. What kind of feelings do you have about Roberto?
Roberto is vital to this community. He is a strong leader. And if I am understanding what it is you're saying, um, I think he would be a good person to lead. I don't know if he has the conviction to do what is necessary
Oh,
in such
Wilp.
a rough and tumble land such as these. However, a second who has been around the block, some could say, somebody who has connections off world, who has
Someone who makes a great guava smoothie.
somebody who makes a fantastic lava smoothie. Thank you. A provider, somebody who can see the bigger picture,
God.
could steer him in the right direction.
We were thinking the same thing.
I think this is an excellent idea. I'm assuming he is sending you to get more hands, more people helping.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him this, and he pulls out the bottle.
That's for the anguilas.
Mm.
Hmm.
Anything else that might go along with that, you think?
Sure, give me 1 second. She steps back. And a couple minutes pass. And you hear the sound of like metal wheels on the wood as it kind of comes out towards you guys. And the first thing you see is this steel kind of like wire cage. And you see Abuelita pushing what appears to be inside the cage a full live pig.
You have a real one?
I do. I was going to make some carnitas for everybody at Christmas.
He's so cute. Why are they cute?
They're also delicious.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So we'll just
You're really okay with us taking this?
I think that this is, in addition to a fine bottle of whiskey, um, will help in getting them to join up. If we show them not only that we are generous, but also that we have resources that they could use, then we appeal to both their humanity and their necessity.
Mm. I heard that there's a fair few of them that are folks from around here.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. A lot of people left. A lot of people left with gifts that I gave them.
See, there's a reason I knew I trusted you.
how are we gonna get this on the ship?
Oh, the same way I got it here. And you watch as she she's gonna grab you, Phase, actually.
Oh.
She just kind of grabs your wrist and drags you. And you see a large like wooden crate that looks like it fits directly over this box.
Smart. That's good. I like that.
Do you mind getting this for me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. He sets down the guava.
You and Hector.
Mm.
Was that
Me and Hector?
facilitated? Was the bus heist? Did you
No,
facilitate the bus heist? No.
that was all Hector's grand scheme. The boy is uh, he's quiet. He has a good heart, I think, but he was desperate, I think, to make something of his life. Um, I didn't have too many conversations with him. That's more Roberto's school. Um, but Um, as far as I'm aware, um, he just wanted to escape this life. He didn't want to live and die in a tower.
Relatable.
You got any
Very
idea
relatable.
besides pure sadism, like why Alfonso would?
Would do what he's done.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
we watched the footage. Nothing. He didn't seem angry. He didn't seem anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Just kind of grabbed him.
Pool Boy and Ms. Roman were getting a little interested, but he didn't seem bothered by it initially.
when I was a girl, um, I grew up in Brazil.
Mm.
Um, and I lived in the favela, and there was a series of me and my friends. We would play in the streets, and we kept finding dead cats. At first, it was, um, you know, it looked like it was hit by a car or something like that. But then we saw that consistently, it was the same every time. Strike right to the center of the cat's head. Um, and we knew somebody was doing it, but we couldn't figure out who or why. Um, we found out that my my best friend's brother, who was older than us, he was 16. Um, he liked to bring cats into the alley and go at them with a hammer. There are people out there who want to perform cruelties. They want to be cruel. Um, and if you say that Alfonso was calm and collected as he made that boy into what he ended up being, I get the impression that he just likes doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so does the missus, apparently.
I never really liked her either.
Do you have any idea why he would have hired us in the first place? Roberto said to potentially like just show his employees that he's doing something about it. Does that track for you? I know that Roberto is. You've said he's a little bit uh, might not be as experienced maybe with people in power as far as like the things that they do and why.
Oh no, I think Roberto is accurate on this one. I think my concern with Roberto is he is a bit of an idealist. Um,
Hmm.
he's not somebody who's willing to, not willing, but he'll have a hard time making the tough choices.
Hmm.
Um, that's my concern with him. As far as his ability to read people and his ability to talk to people and lead,
That makes
I
sense.
he is he is the one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as we work on this on our end, it's going to be very important to, I think, in the aftermath of the shocking loss of Alfonso and perhaps his wife, and the gaping hole that it'll leave in this community that will surely mourn him, that an idealist who rises up to take his place has good advice.
Some practicality.
Mm-hmm.
Idealism is great, but it tends to be snuffed out in the real world.
Will you be ready to step up?
Me, I'm no. You see this old lady, and she just goes, "I will be ready when everything is done." But at the end of the day, I will do what I've always done, which is survive.
Naturally. Anything else?
Uh, Cargo's all ready to go if we want to take a walk.
Yeah, let's take a walk.
Pretty
Do it.
sure I can do a straight line.
I'll help you, man.
Nice.
While we're going, you both have to recite the alphabet backwards.
Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, N, R, and Q, and P, O, N, M, L, K, J, H, wait, J, H,
Nope.
I, J,
Oh,
I,
bummer.
J, I,
Too
H,
drunk.
G,
Call
F,
Portia on my agent.
E, D, C, B, A.
I ask her to.
Oh, you call
Yeah,
Portia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just let her know that we're like heading to the vantage ground, and it might behoove her to like
take a walk.
take a ride with us.
On the bus? That's how she responds.
No, like meet us at the vantage ground is what I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
say.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not right. The nasty bus. Yeah, I will. I'll meet you there. I'll be there in a sec.
What way does she have to get? Maybe get the car.
She's better. She's just better. It's just how it is.
Um, yeah.
Ready to go, basically with all her stuff.
To like leave.
Mm-hmm.
We might not. We just things are
It might be better to
things are tense. Murado's a powder keg.
just in case.
Murato's a powder keg.
Did you tell her that Murato's a power cake?
I just tell her that we think we might have things wrapped up soon and to meet us.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Like how soon? Like an hour?
Yeah, like we're on our way.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
And we are taking the buzz.
Yeah, we're taking the bus.
I am not taking the bus. I'll meet you there. She hangs up. Yeah, so I guess back on the vantage ground, eventually one of the like a member of the Chicos Morados in like this large kind of like convertible pulls up, and you see Portia in the passenger seat, and you watch as she kind of pulls a couple bags out, and you watch as she kind of sets the bags at the hanger without saying anything to you guys and walks back to the guy. And you watch as she reaches into her pocket and pulls out 1,000 eddies and hands it to him
What a man.
and puts it back in her pocket. He just nods and then drives off. And she kind of steps back, and you see she's kind of standing there with her bags. Okay.
Faye's like immediately like walks over and like picks up her bags and starts
You don't
walking towards the garage.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. You see she kind of like flustered, picks up the other bag. So we're leaving. You guys have this all wrapped up then.
We're on our way to wrap it up.
It's like Alfonso Roman said, justice is inevitable. And I think
Okay.
justice is about to be dealt.
Right.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Anyway,
more
you'll
when
be
we
in
take
cabin
off.
4.
Cabin 4. Okay. Yeah.
There's only 4 of them, so you'll find it.
It's
Oh.
next to phases, so you'll have great security.
Thank you.
Faye, like as Faze is walking, just turns like, shut the fuck up. Like with no words, just
She just goes, okay, yep, fair enough. She kind of goes with phase and sets everything down. And you
just
see
very
she,
quietly to her as they're setting stuff down. Sorry about that.
oh, it's fine. We're all adults here. Well, some of us are adults. She kind of like, well, I guess I will just, I'll make myself as scarce as you need me to, but I'll, this is, what kind of ship is this? It's surprisingly large.
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. And, and Faze fucking goes off like she just asked him about his special interest. Like
Yeah.
he's immediately like, this is where it's from. This is the maker. These are the people who made these parts. This is what, these are the modifications I've made. And like excitedly starts talking about it. And then like midway through, he'll just like, I'm sorry, you probably don't care about all this.
No, it's interesting. No, I'm not. It's. I've had a passing interest in ships for a little while. I just have never had enough to get my own. But
Really?
yeah, this looks like a lot of work went into this, and I think that's impressive.
Listen, don't want to I don't want to impose or nothing.
Hmm.
When I was working on my little doohickey, you held something for me, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Mm.
Um, but I imagine I don't know if you're interested in ships, I can show you a thing or two, but I don't want you to like get your hands dirty if you're not interested.
Oh, no, not yet. If you need me to help, I will. But I prefer. She see, she kind of puts her hands up. I prefer keeping him clean.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can tell you all about it.
sure.
On
Um,
our way out.
cool. Great, great. Um, yeah. So as this conversation is kind of wrapping up, Colt and Ajax, you guys have anything before we start signing off?
Ajax would kind of say to Colt, like as like the ship talk kind of goes, and like Phase and
Colt is like paying out the gas guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're like standing there in the hangar.
very gracious of you to let Phase take point on the ship talk.
Oh, I sort of assumed that like were they not like already like up and away like at the other
I
room?
assumed we got like the, you
Not
know,
fair.
Yeah.
the barest gist.
Whatever, man. He's like a freaking encyclopedia about that shit.
What
I could fly him, but you know,
I mean, aren't you? Aren't you too?
yeah, I know stuff. You know, enough to keep it running.
How'd you find this thing?
Yeah, I didn't find it. It was given to me.
Hell of a gift. By who?
Just people I used to run with. You know how it is.
Sure.
Hey Cal, washing machine spin cycle, as in like get the ship like spun up.
You got it, boss.
That one still
Uh, you
works.
you guys hear the engines begin to sort of begin spooling up and getting ready to go.
Does it cost it doesn't cost any fuel to just like fly around in
No,
Atmo?
staying in
Okay.
Atmo is yeah, no fuel.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
All right. Well,
It
I'm gonna head up.
Good
Yeah.
talk.
I go get into the cockpit and spin her up.
Yeah. The as
Good talk.
the ship kind of begins spinning up, and the VTOL you kind of like begin to sort of like lift off, um, and as the ship kind of lifts and pulls out over the Martian desert, we'll start with Mr. Roman, who is standing on a balcony out on the edge of his hacienda. He's got a small glass of booze, and your ship kind of like your trajectory kind of takes you over his home, and he kind of takes a sip and just like smiles wryly as you guys fly over. Um, and we kind of follow you for a second, and then we pass you guys and continue further on into the desert. And miles and miles go by. There's like a whole herd of cattle that we fly over, and eventually we come to a small campfire in the Martian desert. There's a number of these ragtag vehicles kind of like around it, and there's a number of people sitting around the campfire as well. And then kind of looming behind all those vehicles, you see uh, this massive structure It's been mad maxed out. It's got like plates kind of stapled to the side, and there's racks all on top of it to hold luggage and stuff like that. And it is a large multi-passenger bus, and that's where we're going to end it this evening.
Oh yeah.
Good
Such a
stuff.
great session. Thank you, Chris.
Oh my
Woo!
gosh.